We have an interesting article to react to today. The Ringer dropped an article on the NBA's next generation rankings, the top 25 players that are aged 25 and under. And we can see right here, we got Luka. Who else we got on this graphic? Luka, Mobley, Ant, SGA, Wemby, Ja, Halliburton. We got LaMelo down here. Mobley, I don't know if I said him, but this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. I have not seen any of it yet. And we've been dropping some NBA videos reacting to, the NBA playoff games that are going on, but it's looking like we got a Celtics Mavs finals. I don't really know if we got to talk about that because the series really aren't close. I mean, the Mavs and Timberwolves have had some close games, but the Mavs are up 3-0. So when that finals matchup is confirmed, which it pretty much is already, I'll probably drop a video talking about that. But in the meantime, we got this article. Okay, so it's always important to know what are they rating these players on, and it says they asked their panelists to rate 30 plus young players on the following 5 categories. So they had to judge them on current performance, future performance. So it's not like right now, it's also kind of a projection for this rankings. And then it says get the people going. So I guess, yeah, charisma, marketability, just like having fun watching them, I guess goes into the ratings. Intangibles, so kind of like IQ, leadership, and foundational qualities. So let's see who we got. We got Jabari Smith at number 25. If you guys don't know, I'm an Auburn fan when it comes to like college basketball. Jabari went to Auburn, so I'm always a big Jabari Smith fan. I'm just interested to see who they have at 24 and 23 because it's kind of hard to judge, like, is he the 25th best? I don't, yeah, probably if we're talking under 25 or 25 and under, he's probably top 25. They give him an overall score of 28.5. You guys can pause and read all this if you guys want to. Darius Garland, yeah, I mean, I'd probably put Darius Garland above Jabari. So off to a good start, but Garland at 24 feels kind of low. I know he didn't have the best postseason. He was a little injured this year, but this feels a little bit low for Darius Garland, who, I mean, let's be honest, at the beginning of this year, people were talking like he was, I'm not gonna say next up, but they were talking very highly of him. And by the end of the year, I don't know, he didn't have the craziest of years, so people are a little low on him. Desmond Bane, 23. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it so far. And I don't know if I'm really ever gonna get mad at this because there's a lot of good young players. So like, I don't know what they'd have to do for me to get mad at it, but we got Bane with a score of 29.6. Garland had 29.1 and Jabari was 28.5. Okay, I don't know why it's in the Desmond Bane section, but we have just missed the cut. Herb Jones is the 26th man, so the first man off. We also have Kobe White. I'm not gonna lie, they messed up. That's the first time I'm seeing them mess up. Kobe White, after what he just did, he's gotta be top 25. He has to be. Like, I'm a big Jabari Smith fan, but if we're just talking the last guy on the list, which is Jabari, you'd probably put Kobe White over Jabari. Like, bro, Kobe had a crazy season. Anthony Simons as well. I don't know. I feel like he's pretty close to top 25, if not top 25. Jaden McDaniels didn't make it. Kuminga didn't make it. MPJ, wait, he's still 25 and under. MPJ didn't make it, and Tyler Hero also didn't make it. Who do we have at 22? Jalen Green. Bro, he's such an interesting player because some people are very high on him and some people just hate him. They're like, well, hate's kind of crazy. Let's be honest. Hate's kind of crazy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a very inconsistent player. Sometimes he's just chucking threes and they're not going in, but then he'll randomly drop like 36 points. And you're like, wait, hold on. Is Jalen Green the next, best guard? Is he gonna win most improved next year? Yeah, he shows those flashes, but he's just so inconsistent. I personally don't think I'd have Jalen Green in my top 25. I mean, if we look at this, I'd rather have Kobe White or like Anthony. I don't know if that's crazy, but I don't know. Okay, Jalen Johnson had a crazy year. Not mad at this ranking, but he probably should be closer to 25, 24. I mean, he had a great year, but I'd go Desmond Bane over him. Darius Garland, maybe. LaMelo at 20. Okay. How is LaMelo Ball at 20? He should be around 20 if we're ranking all the NBA players. LaMelo Ball is 20 for just players that are 25 and under? I gotta see the reasoning on this. Okay, they're saying when he plays, he dazzles, blah, blah, blah. You never know. You never quite know what LaMelo might do with the ball and all that. And that alone makes him worth the price of admission. Reason for doubt. It's not entirely clear whether Ball can thrive in any sort of structured environment. Okay, so they're saying he might not be a winner. I mean, bro, look at the team. Look at the team that he's on. Have they gave him a chance to win? Like, we haven't even got to Wemby yet. I know he's going to be really high ranked in this list, but Wemby hasn't won. Why aren't y'all? Well, maybe they are going to say that about him, but you know what I'm saying? Why is that said about LaMelo when he's out there, he can put up, you know, maybe a triple double? You never know. He doesn't average a triple double, but I mean, I think this is the average right here. 24 points per game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, he hoops when he's out there, but that's the thing. He's not really out there. So if they brought up his injuries, I would be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, because he's always dealing with injuries. They get ankle injury a lot, but LaMelo at 20 is crazy. Like, Jaren 19 had a underwhelming year this year. I'm not mad at this ranking, but LaMelo's got to be like around top 10 at least. Like, Jaren at 19, I think he's going to bounce back next year. He had a mid-year. Franz Wagner at 18. Okay, Franz is a great player, but again, it's just really throwing this ranking off having LaMelo at 20. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. LaMelo should be 20. I don't know. Y'all can let me know. But Franz, great player. 18, probably the perfect spot for me. He had a really good year. You know, led the Magic to that playoff berth where they got first rounded, but still. Brandon Miller at 17. He had a pretty good year. And okay, so they're saying Brandon Miller over LaMelo. Let me know in the comments, how do y'all feel about that? Brandon Miller over LaMelo. Like, if you had to pick one, who would y'all rather have lead your team? Brandon Miller or LaMelo? In his first season, Miller quickly established himself as a franchise pillar. So I guess the people that are ranking this think Miller's the franchise guy and LaMelo's gonna have to go somewhere. But yeah, Miller at 17, interesting. Okay, so we got a tie. Evan Mobley and Trae Young. Trae Young at 15 is crazy because he's Trae Young's like a franchise guy to me, and having him at 15 of the age 25 and under players is a little odd. That seems a little low. He should probably be closer to 10. And tying him with Mobley's just not like a franchise guy. Like, he's like a great guy to have as like your third, fourth option, but Trae Young is like a great guy to have as like your second option. I'm not gonna say, well, he's a good guy to have as your first option too, but like, I just don't think Trae Young can lead a team to like a finals win. But if Trae Young's your 2, you know what I'm saying? Trae Young should be higher than this. Cade Cunningham. Okay, so I'm gonna assume they're going off potential here. I do think that Cade is very good. The Pistons, obviously one of the worst teams in the NBA. I mean, they were on a historically bad pace this year. I don't know how many wins they ended up with, 14, 15. I don't know, something like that, something really bad. But Cade was one of their only players that was actually decent. The team around him is terrible. So yeah, I assume that this ranking is just strictly on projection. Scotty Barnes 13. Scotty Barnes should be top 10. I mean, who are we gonna have in the top 10? Because Scotty Barnes isn't top 10. I feel like Trae Young has an argument to be top 10. And then also LaMelo is at 20. So who are we gonna have in the top 10 that's surprising? This is gonna be interesting. All right, so let's see. We got Alperen Sengun. Okay, I'm not mad at this. I'm not mad at this at all. Who's in the top 10? If all these guys are not in the top 10, who's gonna be in the top 10? I'm a big Sengun guy. I had him on my fantasy basketball team last year. I mean, he's young. He's 21. I was gonna say, does it say his age? He's 21. He's a guy that I really think, and a lot of y'all might disagree, I think that you could build a team around him. Like, I think he's that type of, like, that he's that good. And he's the type of guy you can build an offense around, you know, where some of these guys, it's kind of questionable. Like, for example, Trae Young. People are starting to doubt whether he can be the, you know, the main guy. But I'm not saying Sengun is going to be the top scorer on his team if they were to go all the way. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like kind of like how the Nuggets built around Jokic just perfectly. I feel like Sengun, they could do that, or a team could do that with most likely the Rockets. We got Ja Morant tied for 10th. Who is he tied with? Zion Williamson. I mean, I would rather go Ja. I'd rather have Ja. I mean, I'd have Ja higher on this list. Zion, kind of a mid-year. I know his minutes were down, and then unfortunately in the play-in he got hurt where he had a 40-point game against the Lakers. Could have won that game, and then he just didn't play the rest of the season. But I'd go Ja over Zion, personally. I mean, when Ja's out there, he's one of the best point guards in the game. He's one of the best players in the game. Zion, you can't really say the same about, I mean, he's very solid. I'm not saying he's bad, but I'd go Ja over Zion. At number 9, we have Paolo Banchero. That's probably a good spot. I mean, who do we have ahead of him? J-Dub. Okay. I'm a big J-Dub guy, and I was excited to see where they'd rank him because he's going to be good. I think he could be potentially like a Jaylen Brown one day. Like he could I think he could be like a star, not a superstar, but I think J-Dub could be a star. Like he's so good defensively. He can get you buckets. He really just does it all. Putting him above Paolo though, they're tripping. I mean, they're tripping. They are tripping, putting him above Ja Morant, even Zion and Paolo. What are we doing? What are we doing? And I love Jalen Williams, even Sengun. He's not above these guys. Scotty Barnes too. He's just not above these guys. He's really not. I don't think he's above Cade Cunningham either. J-Dub 7 spots ahead of Trae Young. No, I just can't agree with that. And I'm high on Jalen Williams too, but this is crazy high. This is abnormally high to the point where they might have to drug test the guy that dropped this article. Chet Holmgren at 7. I'm very high on Chet. Just his rim protection. He could do it all, stretch the floor. And I think something that's very important in today's NBA is having a center or even a 4 that can just stretch the floor, and Chet can do that. You know, the defensive bigs, the back to the basket bigs, I feel like at times hurt you. Like we're kind of seeing with Rudy Gobert. Yeah, he's great defensively, but he can't shoot. He doesn't have much of an offensive game. Chet can do it all pretty much. So yeah, I'm not mad at the Chet ranking. Jalen Williams is severely misranked in my opinion. And again, I'm high on J-Dub. Tyrese Maxey at 6. No. And I'm not a Maxey hater. I know y'all are already gonna try and say that in the comments. You're just thinking it. This guy's a hater of someone when he disagrees. Bro, Ja Morant is better than Tyrese Maxey, and I don't. Bro, they said they were factoring in like watchability. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't get it. Ja Morant clears him now. He clears him in the future, and he's more fun to watch. So I don't get how Tyrese Maxey is ahead of Ja. I just don't. Tyrese Halliburton at 5. Okay. Now, man. Halliburton is, I mean, he's got to be around this spot. It's just the Ja ranking is really throwing it off for me right now. And also LaMelo at 20. It's like, do we watch basketball? LaMelo at 20 and Halliburton at 5. The gap should never be that big, but you know, between them. And then just having Ja at 10 with Halliburton at 5. Personally, I think I'm going Ja over Halliburton, like for the future. I know everyone's gonna be like, oh, but what if Ja like tries to shoot somebody? Like that's just, I don't think that's gonna happen. Personally, I would go Ja over Halliburton. It's close, they're probably neck and neck, but 5 spots between them is kind of crazy. Luka Doncic is 4. Am I misreading what this article is about or something? Like what? How? I mean, Luka Doncic might be the best player in the NBA right now. I think he is. Some people would say Jokic. Dude, I mean, this is the best 25 players in the NBA aged 25 and under. And we have Luka at 4. Dude, who made this article? I mean, they might have to get fired. That's how crazy this is. Luka is 4th in this group. So if you factor in everyone else, you know, you added in Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid, what is Luka going to be ranked? If he's 4th with these guys averaging 34, 9, and 10, what's going on? And I mean, he's going to be in the NBA Finals too. Like, what is going on? SGA over him? I disagree, but you can't really hate it. You can't hate it. He's definitely better defensively, and they're just different type of players, both leaders for their teams. And they're gonna be leading this next generation. So they're not getting that wrong, but I'm going Luka over Shea. Ant is gonna be at number 2, which again, I'm putting Luka ahead of Ant and SGA personally. I could see Ant over SGA. I could. And then at number 1, we have Victor Wembanyama, which I think a lot of you guys are gonna disagree, but I don't hate this at all. He's 1 year into his career, averaging 21.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and almost 4 blocks per game. I mean it when I say this. Wemby is going to go down as the greatest defensive player in NBA history. Remember me saying this. 15 years from now, remember me. No, I'm just kidding. Who's going to remember that? But Wemby is going to go down as the best defensive player ever. And he's about to win like 7 depoys in a row or something, barring injury. He's about to, bro, 3.6 blocks per game in his rookie year. And he also had like 1.4 steals per game. I think 5 stocks a game. You're not going to be able to score on him in the paint. And then he's just going to get better at offensively. Like, it's going to be raps, bro. Yeah, I would say Wemby's 1, if not Luka. Wemby or Luka got to be 1 and 2. And then this ranking is just crazy because, like, bro, Ja cannot be 10. That's a big problem I have. And even Paolo should be higher. Paolo should be like 6 or 7. Ja should be like 5 or 4. And then, I don't know. I just feel like the LaMelo Ball ranking is one of the craziest rankings, having him at 20. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess they're just saying he's not a winner, but him at 20 is just insane. Hey, if you guys watch this whole video, make sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 3K subs. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.